back to the Tapping Out Show. My name is Jeremy, this is Matt, and we're going to do the Hazelutely Choctabulous from Rogue's Brewery. It's a mix between, 60% hazelnut brown, 40% chocolate stout?
Correct, yes.
Okay. If you've seen any of our stuff, if you've seen our Super Bowl Sunday episode, hazelnut brown is a staple of mine. It's one of my favorites. It's an all-around good beer. It's not that big on alcohol content, got a great flavor, great brown ale. And if you know anything about me, I also love stouts, chocolate stouts, every kind of stout. When I found out they were doing this, I was super excited. So
I'm looking forward to, like I said, Rogue's beers are good beers. They usually use really good ingredients. Blend of their two beers. I don't know if we've had a Rogue's where they've blended two of their beers together.
I don't think so.
Kind of like Allagash and some other breweries do. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And it's a little darker, pretty dark.
Well,
beer,
I'm going to say this, not Matt in general, but I mean, Matt and I have drinking hazelnut, but the wife likes their double chocolate stout. They have three staples, I guess four if you count the sriracha one, but they have three staple stouts. There's a chocolate stout, double chocolate stout, and there's the oatmeal stout. And that's why I'm saying this is two of one of my staple beers mixed together, literally blended together to make this beer. So you can smell the hazelnut just like if you're doing hazelnut brown. This is obviously a lot darker than hazelnut brown. You can't see through it.
Yeah, you can. Looks like some iced coffee that's been sitting and the ice kind of melted.
Look, you know what it kind of reminds me of though? It's almost porter-esque, which goes back to the double brown throwdown that you were talking about.
Good.
So, yeah, it's great.
Cheers. It's really good. I can taste the hazelnut and the chocolate kind of blended pretty well together. There's not really any, I wouldn't even say any real transition period. It just kind of just blends pretty good. It's a really good beer.
Well, and I was actually wondering the whole 60-40 split. And I don't care how they came up with it. Whatever they decided, the reason why there's 40% of a stout in here instead, it's a brilliant idea. It's not a high alcohol content. You're not going to get smashed unless you're drinking a bunch of these.
Yeah.
It's definitely a chilling out kind of beer. And the problem is this is actually a specialty. This is not one of their staples that's going to be around just anytime you go to Ralph's or whatever. Kroger's.
This one would be good with a meal. A couple beers with the right kind of meal. They kind of
steak.
I was gonna say steak, but I'm just a meat eater. But yeah, steak and whatever else that kind of fits the matches the palate on that. But I think this is kind of one of those drink a 6-pack while you're having some dinner that kind of matches that sweet. The coffee, the chocolate stout, I keep saying coffee stout because I think hazelnut coffee would be awesome, but
Rogues.
Yeah, just in case you're listening there. But the coffee cuts out the sweetness of the hazelnut because, I know you love that beer, but it is a little sweet, and this does cut down some of that sweetness. If you drink, hazelnut brown, you know what I'm saying. So I love that beer, but it is a little sweet. And I guess when you get old like me, sometimes you don't want things to be as sweet. So the chocolate does cut out the sweetness, even though it doesn't make sense. It's probably more cocoa than chocolate, right. But it does cut that out a little bit, which is probably the reason for the 40%. The 60% keeps it sweet enough or gives you that flavor, and then the 40% kind of cuts it on the back where it doesn't give you that really sweet hazelnutty taste that you get on the back end of a hazelnut brown. So it's a very good mix, and another good winner from Rogues.
I've already had it. I love the beers, so that's my critique. If you guys can get your hands on this, man, seriously, it's a good beer. If you're a Hazelnut Brown fan, get it. If you're not a Hazelnut Brown fan, get it, because it's, even though it has the taste of a Hazelnut Brown nectar, like Matt pointed out, it's almost like the Double Brown Throwdown with the way they cured it. In this case, the way they blended it takes a lot of the sweetness out of it to where, you know, a whole 6-pack of Hazelnut Brown nectar, which, don't get me wrong, I've drank a whole 6-pack of Hazelnut Brown nectar.
I've seen you do that a few times, yeah.
But it's hard because it's not just the fact that it's sweet, but it almost sits in your mouth after a while. Like, that's the only thing you can taste. You drink 6 hazelnut brown nectars and drink any other beer, you still taste the hazelnut brown nectar. If I was going to rate this, I'm going to rate it...
I would rate it a 4.5.
I was going to say 4.5. You know why? Because there's very few that we'll give a 5 to. Hazelnut Brown didn't even get a 5 from us. But you know what? It's still worth a shot. If you can get your hands on this, because I had a hard time getting it until recently, and then I was able to buy 3 at a time.
Yeah, one thing I would say is for something this dark, I mean, the alcohol isn't high, but it is a very drinkable beer. I always talk about that a lot because some beers are just really thick. This is a very drinkable beer. The Rogues are usually always like that, but it is a drinkable beer. It's got a lot of flavor, whether you like the flavor or not. It's got a lot of flavor. So if you're a beer connoisseur, you definitely have to give this a shot if you can hunt one down, because you don't know nothing about it till you try it.
Right. Anyways, if you're a Rogues fan, not a Rogues fan, you've had it, hated it, had it, love it, whatever. We just want to know some info. We want to know what you guys want us to try, or just want to hear from you. So at the bottom, email us. It's going to be info@tappingoutshow.com. And then social media, it's all one word, Tapping Out Show. Besides that, we are going to finish these up. It's a killer beer. Cheers.